I'm Nate Doss, PDGA member 11794 from Capitola, California. I've been playing disc golf since I was 6 years old, and I've learned a lot of great things from a lot of great disc golfers. Hopefully today, you'll hear and see some things that might help you in the future. A lot of players ask what discs I throw and why. I've been throwing Discraft since I was a kid. I always liked Discraft plastic, but what kept me throwing it after all these years is consistency. And that's what helps keep my bag simple. If I lose a disc, I can pull one right out of the box and I'm ready to go. So here's my bag. Basically, I like to keep my bag extremely simple. By simple, I mean that I keep a couple extras of the discs that I throw a lot, and the other ones I just try to keep one of. The reason that is because I don't end up carrying 20 or 20 plus into the 30s of discs, which can then zap your energy for the event and cost you strokes down the line. But anyways, basically I have about 10 drivers, maybe 15 drivers, 2 or 3 mid-range, and then I carry 3 putters with me. So the first thing you do when you're on the course on the tee pad is drive. So let's talk about the drivers I got. There's 4 main drivers that I'm going to use during any given round of golf, any tournament round, anything like that. Those are the Predator, the Surge, the Avenger, and the Pulse. First thing I'm going to talk about here is the Predator. The reason I'm going to talk about the Predator is because, for the most part, it's the disc that I throw off most tees. It may not be the furthest flying disc, but it's the one that I can trust the most in a tournament round. I carry 3 of them. One of them is extremely old. I could basically control it to go left, right, straight, whatever you want. And then the other 2 are basically brand new. I carry 2 of those because if I lose one, I want to have another one available. The next disc that I'm going to talk about is the Surge. Since the Surge came out, it's basically been the furthest flying disc I've ever thrown, and I've thrown a lot of discs a long way. But the Surge is just a great long flying disc, and actually is somewhat controllable in woodsy situations or some high wind situations. So I carry two Discraft Surges, ESP Surges. And the reason I carry 2 is because I have one that's a little bit more beat up that will actually turn over a little bit more, and the other one is basically brand new, as I was talking about the Predator there. And that is because I want to have something that's brand new, that's stable, that I know that I can trust if I got to throw it. The third disc that I do use quite a bit is the Avenger. This disc has been a staple in my bag for many years. It flies extremely straight. It hasn't been one of the new discs that fly really far, but as far as controllability, stability of it, it's definitely been a staple in my bag. And there's actually another one in here that is like one of the first ones that I ever got that I still throw, and I actually use it as a roller. So it's a very useful disc, even in its old age and its beat up state. The last disc that really just in about the last year has become extremely important is the Discraft Pulse. It flies really fast, it flies really far, and the most important thing for me is stability, and they're really stable. I can throw them in any hyzer situation. I can actually, throw them anhyzer and they'll come back for me nice and hard at the end. So the Pulse is basically, another one of those discs that I can use in any situation and control to do anything. There are a few other drivers in here that I do use. The XL, just a great disc. I use it, it's a less stable disc, so it's meant to go straight or turn to the right, and I use it just for that. I have this blue one here, which is a ZXL. I can throw nice and flat, and it'll make that nice slow right hand turn for me. Even brand new, I mean, these discs are meant to do that. This other one here is actually from 1999, and it's another roller disc for me. So once again, the XL is just a super useful disc, and could really work for you or for anybody for that matter. The last disc that I have here is the Force, which is one of Discraft's new high speed, high stability drivers. As soon as one of these was put into my hand, I've really enjoyed using it. In fact, it's almost in a way replacing my Predator, because they're almost as stable, but they fly further. But the Predator will never go anywhere for a while at least. But definitely give the Force a try, and maybe that. I mean, it's really just a fabulous disc, and I really love it. Basically, my idea of drivers is give everything a shot. You know, everything that comes out, I throw a few times. I take it out to my home course, or a field, or go out and throw it with my buddies and just check it out. So now the mid-range discs. There's basically 2 mid-range discs that I use all the time, and a third one which is actually a putter, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the very first one, and probably besides some of the drivers is the most important disc in my bag, is the Hawk. When I played back in the 90s, when I was just a little boy, I was throwing the Hawk. The Hawk is basically one of the most usable discs in my golf bag, and I think could be usable in anybody's golf bag for that matter. You can use it, to throw nice, easy hyzer shots. Not high speed, but nice, soft hyzer shots that aren't, hooking extremely hard, but nice, flowing hyzer shots. Or if you pop it on a nice flat line, it's going to hold that good line. But the most important thing that I use the Hawk for is that nice, slow anhyzer shot. When you feel you got just a nice slight bend up to the basket, and you weren't sure which disc you should throw. The Hawk for me is that disc that I can just use it in any situation. And it's not just a short disc. I mean, I can throw it up to 300 feet, but the Hawk is really one of the mainstays in my bag, and has been since since the 90s, when my dad first said, "Hey son, why don't you try this Hawk?" And I've loved it ever since, and hopefully I'll have it in my bag for a long time. The second disc that I use is a drone, and the drone has just been, I mean, one of the most amazing discs really for me. I say that about a lot of them, but this one was kind of a disc that was outside the box. It's really stable. It doesn't fly fast at all. It doesn't fly very far at all. But if you come to a high wind situation, or where you got to go hard left but not very far, the drone is for you. And I use that a lot, really a lot. The third one that I was talking about is actually a Discraft Challenger, and the reason that I'm calling it a mid-range, and I carry 2 to putt with, and 1 to throw actually drives and mid-ranges with, is just because the Challenger is so versatile. Once again, it flies slow, but is so controllable. I mean, of course it's a great putter, and a lot of people use it for that, but the Challenger is just a disc that you can throw in any situation. I love to throw it because it's so controllable, and it just feels so comfortable in the hand. So the Discraft Challenger is definitely a disc that, don't just look at it as a putter, something you can use in close proximity to the basket, but somewhere where you can get yourself to the basket and get yourself a nice easy putt with it as well. And finally, putters. When I first started, I used a magnet, which was a great putter. A lot of people use it. In fact, I would tell anybody to use it. But my choice is the Challenger. I carry 3 Challengers, 1 to throw mid-range, and then 2 to putt with. I like to carry 2 to putt with Mainly because, you know, if you lose one, you got your other one there. But, you know, when you're warming up or practicing or getting ready for a round, you know, right before the 2-minute warning, you got 2 guys to putt with. And I would definitely advise choosing one to always use. You don't want to ever say, which one should I putt with in this situation? But get 2 ready. Get 2 ready to where you feel you can make a putt with either one, so it really doesn't matter. And that's basically the architecture of my disc golf bag. As I said when we started, the more simple, the better. A lot of people I know carry a lot of discs, and just keep it simple. My game is very simple. The way I play disc golf is very simple. It's really tee to green, and I try to, you know, make the simple shot, make the simple play. But start with your disc golf bag. Keep it light. You know, carry the discs that if you think you lose one, you're really going to need another one, and everything else just keep one of, and do it that way, because you know, as I said, you're going to have more energy. You're not going to have to carry as much weight, and I think that at the end of the tournament, you'll be feeling better than the next guy, and that'll be your advantage. Cool.